Hi 6th graders, it's Miss Schwer here. Today we're doing the second lesson in chapter 10 for volume. Last week we did the rectangular prism, which is like a Kleenex box, something that's a rectangle. Today we're going to do a volume of a triangle prism. This is probably the hardest lesson that we've done so far since you've been at home. I have found some shapes from my house that kind of represent it. This would be one, and I know it's really, really small. But what a triangular prism is one side is a triangle. One side's a triangle, and then you take that flat side times the height, so it makes it into a three-dimensional object. This one's kind of a similar shape where this side is a triangle, but when you take that times the height, you get a three-dimensional figure. So, what I want you to do is on page 747, you're going to do the quick check. There's a real world link about camping, so you're going to do that. And then we're going to go over 4 problems, leveling of difficulty, easiest to hardest. I will try my best to draw the pictures. 3D is a little bit harder, but I will do my best. And again, don't worry too much about your pictures when you're drawing. Okay, so first of all, we are going to be using the volume formula. Now, the volume formula is volume equals base times height. Now, in the last lesson, we did volume equals length times width times height. Well, when you're working with a rectangle, you just multiply the length times the width to get the rectangle times the height. You use the same formula for a triangle. The only difference is now we don't have a length and a width because our area formula is different. So our formula we're going to use is volume equals base times height. But in order to do this, we also have to remember the area formula for a basic triangle. So what it's going to be is we're going to actually be inputting values into that volume equals capital B, because that's the formula from that, times the height. Okay, so the first shape we're going to do is a regular triangle. I'm going to draw them as big, hopefully, as I can. Oh, that's a bad line. And that means that it's in the back side. So the way that you figure these out is you need to first find the area of just the triangle. That's what they mean by the base. This is the area of that base, okay? So what you're going to do for every single one, I'll put my numbers on, is you're first going to worry about just one triangle. So this one triangle is 3 feet, and then the height is going to be 4 feet. That might be kind of hard to see. So what we need to first do is find the area of just that triangle. So I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. And the formula that we're using is volume equals base times height, okay? Right now, all we're going to worry about is the base because that's that triangle, okay? Now, if I look back at my triangle formula, I'm going to do my base, which is 3 feet, times my height, which is 4 feet, and then divide by 2. That's going to give me my base of just that triangle. So we're pretending like it's just a regular 2D figure like we used before. So that's 4 feet. Okay, so we're just finding the area of that. Well, if I plug that in, and again, you can use your calculator. This one we could probably do without that. 3 times 4 would give you 12 divided by 2. The area of this shape is 6 feet squared. The area of just that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that and I'm going to plug it into that. So volume equals my base, when I solve this, gives me 6. My height, that's going to be taking that singular area shape of a triangle, and now I'm timesing it by the height. So now I'm going to look, here's my original shape, and I'm going to multiply it by the height. The height is going to be right there. The height for this one's going to be 7 feet. So once I find the area of the triangle, I just multiply it by the height. Okay, so I'm going to take my 6 times my 7. So my volume is going to be 42. Now, because again we're working with volume, our label is going to be feet. And if you remember from the last lesson, because there's 3 dimensions, length, width, and height, again, it's going to be feet cubed. So the first one's going to be 42 feet cubed. Okay, all right, let's go to the second one. Again, that's probably the easiest level because they're just regular whole basic numbers. Let's see how well this erases. Okay, the next one that we're going to do, so this is number 2, is, so I'm going to start with just my triangle. Okay, just my triangle. So my triangle is going to be 5 centimeters and 4 centimeters. Okay, so if you want, you could actually solve that before you have to look at the rest of the picture. If it helps you to take your picture, take a color pencil and lightly color in the triangle shape, that'd be fine. We would have done that in class. So the formula I'm going to use is volume equals base times height. But again, we're first just worrying about this. That's our first thing. So I'm using the triangle formula. So area equals my base times height divided by 2. So my base is 4, my height is going to be 5, and I'm dividing it by 2. Again, one you could probably do it in your head. 4 times 5 gives you 20, divided by 2 would give you 10. And then multiplying it by my height. Now we're going to add in the rest of our shape, and I'm going to do my best to draw a similar one. That's a little bit smaller. That's okay. So I'm taking that, now that's a 3-dimensional shape. So if you look at kind of something like that, that's the 3D part. So now I have my, for my base, I already know the area of that triangle. Now I need to multiply it by the height. The height is going to be 6.5. So now I'm taking my 10 times my 6.5. Again, you can do that with a calculator. A lot of you can do that in your head. So my volume is going to be 10 times 6.5 would give me, you know that you can scoot the decimal over, be 65 centimeters. And again, it's 3-dimensional volume, so it's going to be centimeters cubed. Okay, so again, if it helps you to take your picture and just color them out with a light colored pencil, that would be what I would recommend doing. Find the area of this, multiply it by your height. Okay, so when you're looking, because eventually these are the easier ones, they only give you 3 numbers. You use these 2 numbers to find your base, your big base, and then times your height. Okay, so those are the easier ones. We're going to get a little harder with this one, because now, sometimes, and on your homework specifically, there's a few times where they actually give you an extra number that you are not going to need. Now, if they give you that extra number you aren't going to need, so if you get it and you see that there are more than 3 numbers, there's probably at least one in there that you really don't need. So you have to figure out which one don't you need. Because if you use the wrong number, obviously it's not going to work. Okay, so number 3. So this is one that's a little harder, but you'll try. Number 3. Okay, so I have my kind of a longer one. This is my original triangle. Okay, and I'm going to draw the whole thing so that you can see it. So I'm trying to draw one that's about the same. A little smaller. About the same. Okay, so if I'm looking at this, I'm going to show you all the numbers that the problem gives you, and then we're going to come up with what's the ones we actually need to keep. So I have 10 meters, 4 meters, 11.6 meters, and 9 meters. Okay, so if I look at my problem, the first thing I'm going to do is where's my triangle? My triangle, I don't want to shade it in too much, is going to be this shape right here. That's my triangle. Or this one, but obviously you don't need that. So we need that triangle to solve our problem. So we know that we're going to use, because this is for that base of our triangle, we know we're going to use these 2. Okay, so now I have to look at it, because now I have an extra one. I have to figure out which one don't I need. So this is enough to give me my volume equals, this is going to be my base, times height. So I know that I'm going to use these 2 to find my big base of the triangle, the area of that triangle. But I have to figure out which one's going to be my height. So if I look at the other side, one of them's our height, one of them's an extra one. Now, this number actually goes the same as with this triangle, because we know that if this is 4, this is supposed to be 4. Maybe not my picture, but it's supposed to be. And this is 10, this is going to be 10. So we have to look at our 2 numbers. Do we need that other side? Do we need that long side where it gives you that number or not? So you have to think of where's our height. Well, when you're looking at your shape, you need that front, and then you need the depth of it. How long is it? Well, if I look here, this number I really don't need. This is my height. So if it helps you right away, cross that off. You don't need that number. Okay, so now I'm going to take my numbers and I'm going to plug them into my formula. So my base, I'm not going to use the base, I'm going to figure out of the triangle. So I'm going to do 4 times 10 divided by 2. Remember, I'm using that area formula for a triangle. So if I solve that, 4 times 10 would give me 40, divided by 2 would give me 20. And again, you can use a calculator for all this. I just tried to pick numbers that were easy. And then my height is going to be 9. Plug that in. 2 times 9 gives you 18. Add that 0. My label is meters, and then cubed because it is volume. Okay, all right, we are to the hardest one. Now, at this point, if you've done all of these, you are right on track. You're fine. The next one is where it's really going to throw off some of you. So if you have 1 through 3, you're doing fine. Number 4 is that level 4 problem that's hard. It's a hard problem. Okay, so on this one, the part that makes it the most difficult is because it gives you many extra numbers. And that's where it's going to throw off different students. All right, so number 4, and I believe this is, oh no, it's not bad. Okay. So again, you have that front triangle. It looks very much like number 1, similar shaped. And again, obviously they look better on your worksheet than me freehanding them, so just go with it. Okay, so we have my shape. On this one, there are a lot of extra numbers. So first of all, I'm gonna look at just that triangle. I have 2.1, and it's gonna be inches on this one. And then the bottom's gonna be 6 inches. I have 4 inches over here. And then over here I have 3.2 inches and 3.2 inches. Okay? So, what I need to do first is figure out what do I have to have. So I have my volume equals base times my height. Okay, so if I look here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 numbers, I only need 3. So first of all, I'm going to look at my triangle. I can either look at this triangle or that triangle. I know that I need the base, and again, bottom, but I need an amount that is in a perpendicular line across. So it has to have that 90-degree angle. Well, I don't have any 90-degree angles there. So, but I do here. So I know that I need this one, and I need that one. That's going to be my triangle. So now I have to look at my other 3 numbers and try to figure out which one is my height. Okay, the height is not the one that is on the triangle. The height has to be a different one. So I have my base for here. So I know I need these 2. So I look at my other numbers and I have 1, 2, 3 numbers. Now, if I look here, these 2 are actually the same as this. I could actually take these numbers, and I know this one's going to be 6 inches, and I know the 90-degree angle height is going to be 2.1. So if I had that shape, I wouldn't need this number, and I wouldn't need that number. Okay? That means I know I need that height. So I'm going to find the area of just that first triangle, so volume equals, and again, if you want to plug those in, so I do 2.1 times 6 divided by 2. If you want to use your calculator, this one you probably could do without one as well. 2.1 times 6 equals, again, hit equals between every one, 12.6 divided by 2, and it gives me 6.3. All right, I'm going to do it one more time. 2.1 times 6 equals, divided by 2, and it gives me 6.3 times my height, which is going to be 4. So I'm going to take my 6.3 times 4, and do it again, 6.3 times 4, and my volume is going to give me 25 and 2/10 inches, and again, it is cubed because it's volume. Okay, again, this is the hardest one because it gave you the most extra numbers. Remember, one thing is some of the pictures, I did them all where the base is typically on the bottom. You can take this shape and you can change it any way you want. So if they give you one like this, and it's easier for you to turn your paper, please do that. That's perfectly fine. Okay, so I want you to go ahead and rewatch this if you need to. I am going to give you a code word at the end of this one. The code word is grapefruit. So if you have questions, I'm going to ask you what that word is. The code word is grapefruit. Okay? All right, have a lovely rest of your day, guys, and I hope to see you all soon. See you later. Bye.